As process servers, we've all been there. We've been given that one routine job that turns out to be a nightmare. In today's video, we'll discuss ways that recipients try to dodge being served, and we'll also teach you some effective tactics, not only to complete the serve, but to make more money doing it. Hi, I'm Mr. PI.
And I'm Mrs. PI.
And if you're new here, we help new and struggling private investigators and process servers grow their businesses to $100,000 or more in 12 months or less.
With a combined 30 years of experience, we know what to do and what not to do.
So make sure you follow us to take the guesswork out of running your PI or process service business. The first way that a recipient may try to dodge service is through an indirect method by moving, or you just simply got a bad address on your service documents. How many times have you been given a paper from an attorney that either has no address or an address from 10 years ago listed on it?
Happens all the time, more times than not.
Absolutely. So we've all been there, we've all seen it. So what are some effective strategies that we can use to increase revenue while tracking down a new address and effectuating the service?
So the first way, just a real simple way, is skip trace.
So if you're not familiar with the term skip trace, it's simply the process in which you locate a new address from an old address. You're basically tracking someone's whereabouts. There's plenty of ways that you can get it done. There's plenty of different methods that you can use to increase revenue. For a process server or a private investigator, it may be as simple as running some database searches, databases like TLO, IDI Core, tracers, IRB, etc. We recommend that if you're going to offer skip trace service, that you come up with some flat rate packaging where it includes, one or more database searches to corroborate the information. Maybe you've got an additional fee if you're going to check for a license plate. But make it flat rate, make it simple, make it transparent. For $50, you'll get two source verification. For $100, you'll get two source verification, and we'll also tell you what registered vehicles they have. Those would be great examples.
But also remember, there are plenty of free resources online as well. White pages, a simple Google search.
What's the coolest way that we might be able to track somebody's whereabouts? The one thing that really impresses the clients and the attorneys particularly.
You mean like the way that you see on TV?
Like the way you see on TV.
License plate verification, LPR for short. It's an effective tool, especially if your recipient has moved to a high traffic area, an apartment complex, etc. It's going to look cool to your attorney.
Yeah, so we found that attorneys and clients alike, they like the tech. They think it's really cool that you can track somebody's license plate and see where they frequent. One of our cases that I can remember that license plate recognition really helped us out was a ghost that we were chasing. She had no address. Nobody had seen her in 10 years. We used license plate recognition to determine that her vehicle was at the same grocery store every day, Monday through Friday, at various times throughout the day. So it brought to our attention the fact that she probably works there. And sure enough, she did. We were able to locate her and get it served, and the attorney thought that it was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Another way that your recipient might be dodging service is by simply not answering the door. It's all happened to us. We've gone to the door, we've knocked on the door, and they just simply won't answer. You see them inside, you hear the TV, you hear the kids, you hear the dogs barking, you know that they're in there, and they just don't answer the door. So what are some services that you could offer in this particular instance?
So for us, one of the things that we've come up with is what we call a sit and serve. You may also call it an ambush serve. You may call it a track and serve. Call it whatever you want, but it's essentially a different way of approaching service of process. So instead of doing 3 attempts for X amount of dollars, the standard that the industry's gone by for a billion years, this is a service where we offer a chunk of hours for one flat rate. And then we go out and we will sit and wait on the recipient to come out. If there's an opportunity, we can serve them in the driveway. If not, we would just simply follow them to maybe a convenience store, grocery store, maybe to their employer, and we'll serve them in public where they have nowhere to run. So we call it sit and serve. You call it what you want. But honestly, if you've got a difficult recipient, it may even save your client money, but at the same time, you'll be making more revenue.
And how cool is that to tell your attorney, hey, we finally got that ghost we've been chasing. This is your third alias. We finally got them. So how cool is that to be able to relay that information to your client?
I would recommend is make sure that when you're offering a package like that, that instead of just saying, hey, for $50 an hour, we'll sit and wait on them to come out, offer a flat rate package with X amount of hours built in. So for example, 4 hours for $200. But use the language up to 4 hours. That way, if it only takes you 20 minutes to get the job done, you still collect the $200 in revenue. So, that's a pro tip. Sell the package up to X amount of hours for a flat rate. If it takes you 20 minutes, if it takes you 3.5 hours, you're making the same revenue. Obviously, if it takes you 20 minutes, it's more per hour.
The third way that a recipient may dodge service is the oldest one in the book, by lying.
Now, you're not trying to tell the viewers that a recipient would lie to a process server, are you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know as well as I do that we get lied to all of the time when we attempt a service.
Yeah, absolutely. So, ways that you can mitigate someone lying about their identity. First, do your preliminary research. Before you actually knock on the door for the first time, see if you can locate a social media photo, use Facebook, Instagram, etc. Jail bookings if they're available online. Other open source resources may have a photo, like Ancestry.com or LinkedIn. Maybe a business website would list them as an employee and have their photo attached. So make sure you do the preliminary research on the photos. If you can't find a photo, simply ask your client, especially if it's a domestic type case. They know who you're trying to serve, and they should be able to either produce a photo or at least give you a decent physical description of the recipient.
Now, along with preliminary research, there's also post-attempt research. You go to a residence and you attempt to knock on the door, nobody answers, but there are tons of vehicles in the driveway. Run the tags of the vehicles that are in the driveway. Verify, or at least try to verify, the people that you've spoken to. A lot of times we use body cam videos. We take pictures of where we've been. We relay that information to the client, and just from the video, the client can say, "Well, that's the guy that's who you're supposed to be serving." So post-attempt research is really important as well.
Yeah, and make sure that you're documenting everything. Everybody that you come into contact with, everything that was said. Try to get the names of the people that you're speaking with. Simply asking someone their name could give you some clues as to whether or not they're lying. If they stutter over what their name is, if it doesn't sound natural, then there's a good chance that somebody's lying to you. So make sure that you're documenting all of that. Also, it's extremely important to just knock out your diligence attempts. So I can't tell you how many times that we've hired a process server in another state to go out and attempt service. They go the first time, knock on the door, nobody answers, or someone answers and gives them a hard time, and the process server sends us an update and says, hey, they're evading, hey, they're lying, there's nothing else that I can do, I'm going to turn in an affidavit of non-service.
It's really frustrating. It's just frustrating for us. It's frustrating for the attorney. So make sure that you're knocking out all of your diligence attempts. Go in the morning, go in the evening, go in the weekend, go multiple times, so that you are providing that excellent service.
Mm-hmm. And that's really what they're hiring us for. If we can't get it served, we've got to knock out the diligence attempt so that the attorney can petition the court for alternate service methods, maybe publication, things like that. So, even if they're lying to you and you're not going to get it served, it's your job to get those diligence attempts knocked out. So after you've exhausted all of your effort, make sure that you're drafting a strong affidavit of due diligence. I'm not talking about the type of affidavit that Serve Manager or Process Server Toolbox spits out, the affidavit of non-service, couldn't get them served, etc. I'm talking about a detailed affidavit of due diligence. This is the document that your attorney will use to petition the court for alternative service, whether that be subservice, service by publication, service by email, etc. I've even seen some states allow service by Facebook. But your affidavit of due diligence needs to include the case details, the types of documents that you were trying to serve, the addresses, dates, times, and dispositions of each attempt, and all related research that you've done pertaining to the case. I'm telling you, if you turn that in versus your standard run-of-the-mill affidavit of non-service, you're going to impress your attorney and in turn get repeat business, which will
make you more money.
Make you more money. So make sure that you're drafting the affidavit of due diligence.
If you'd like an absolutely free template of the exact affidavit of due diligence that we use with our clients, please click the link in the description. Enter your email and we'll send it right to you.
So there you have it. 3 ways a recipient may try to evade service, how you can overcome that, complete the job, and make more money.
If you have any questions or you would like to suggest a topic, just leave it in the comments below.
And if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe.
And until next time, you can trust, but you better verify. We hope you'll join us for our next video.
Bye.